I've always had an absolute love of Defenders. I mean, they've just been my dream vehicle for years. We do a lot of wild camping in tents, so we're quite used to small spaces and kind of making things functional. And I thought, well, we can make a business model out of this by getting the Defender and then building a camper in it as a kind of micro camper type thing. So we thought, well, let's build another one and see if we get anybody that actually wants to buy it.
Right.
Had loads of people, and then we ended up with a waiting list.
Welcome back to another episode of Defender Dream Builds, and man, have we got a special one today. I'm up in Yorkshire with Laura from Brown Bird & Co, and they build out camper vans and Defenders to the most incredible spec you've ever seen in your life. So this is Skafta the Defender. You would have seen it on social media, and wow, I have lots of questions, lots and lots of questions. So let's head over there to Laura and she'll talk us through. Laura, I have so many questions for you, which I've held off asking you since I came over earlier today. But please give us a little context, a little bit of a lead into the company, why you started it, how you chose Skafta, why you built it out like this.
Yeah, sure. So we started Brown Bird & Company 5 years ago, which was a lockdown baby really. We were travelling in our self-converted long wheelbase Sprinter van in Europe, and suddenly lockdown hit. We were skiing and they shut all the lifts and we zipped back. And we were sat on the driveway and we were like, well, what could we do? And all the DIY shops were still open. So we were like, well, let's build a van. So we built the first one, which was kind of our project. We went from long wheelbase to a medium wheelbase. Then we got loads of people interested in the build and potential customers. So we thought, well, let's build another one and see if we get anybody that actually wants to buy it.
Right.
Had loads of people, and then we ended up with a waiting list and basically kind of did builds to sell whilst we got our feet and got our confidence, and then moved on to commissions, and we now do big Sprinters, T6s, and Defenders now. I've always had an absolute love of Defenders. I mean, they've just been my dream vehicle for years. And I don't know, I was always a bit scared of the mechanics, what goes wrong, or, I'm going to get
Rightly so.
stranded in the middle of nowhere. But then we moved workshop 2 doors down from a Land Rover mechanic. So I thought, well, don't really have to worry about that anymore. And I thought, well, we can make a business model out of this by getting the Defender and then building a camper in it as a kind of micro camper type thing. And to be honest, it wasn't as hard as I was expecting. I thought it would be really tough to go from, the big cavernous space of a Sprinter van to such a small space in here, and it was actually surprisingly okay. But I think a lot of that comes down from our experience of we do a lot of wild camping in tents, so we're quite used to small spaces and kind of making things functional. So the Defender came about like that, really.
All right. While you were talking, I was just thinking, how did you get people interested to get your first commission? Were you putting it on social media?
Yeah, so it was primarily Instagram. So my wife Jacquie, who's the other director of the business, she had already grown a fairly good Instagram account from travelling.
I see.
And everybody loved the van that she first built, which was the one we were travelling in. Yeah, it was kind of the following from that and people going, oh, I'd love a van like that. And it kind of very quickly grew into this waiting list.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to show you why there's a waiting list. Let me spin this around. Laura, I normally start these videos at the front of the vehicle, but this is literally, I don't have the patience to wait to get to the...
She's very pretty at the front too,
Yeah, but this is just, I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, straight away, the little details, I love the brass branding there, but the live edge, I mean, this is something you guys have designed and...
Yeah, so the live edge is very much a signature piece of every one of our camper vans has got live edge worktops in it, and then little live edge shelves and things that are dotted around the builds. And I don't think we'd ever do a camper build without live edge in it, and everybody knows us for that.
And that's your little USP in a way,
Yeah.
It's stunning. And this is oak, right?
Yes, yeah.
Is that a wireless charging point?
Yeah,
that's handy.
Yeah, you'll see there's a lot of oak in all of our builds. We just love working with natural materials. And it's all hand-picked as well. We actually go to a local wood yard where all the wood is locally sourced, and we hand-pick each piece out per build.
To get the sort of the knotting and the burl and all that sort of character in the wood.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah. I like that, like a real artisan approach to it. I love that.
Well, we're both artists as well. So
right.
Jackie's a designer, and I did fine art degree, so... Yeah,
okay, I'm putting the pieces together to see why this thing is so well put together. Like this flooring,
yes,
it's like a yacht deck or something.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah. So we get our inspiration for campers don't come from other camper vans. So it comes from hotels and other areas that we kind of look at and think, oh, that could work in the van. Because what we don't want to do is kind of take ideas from other people in the business. We like to get our own kind of thing and then turn it into something else.
It's the best kind of art is stolen from other places, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So where do you source this? Is this, or is it the trade secret to?
No. So it's the same oak that we use throughout the builds, and then we've just used a specialist material to make it waterproof.
Right.
For the flooring, and it's pretty hard wearing. I mean,
it looks very good. Yeah.
We've put a specialist varnish on it, and I get in and out with my walking boots, and dog gets in and out. So it's very well. It was a trial for this van. We didn't know how well it would fare, but so far so good. So.
I like the fact that you're using it. It's not just a showpiece.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I love it. Because that's the spirit of the Defender. It's not to kind of bling it out and then.
No.
No.
I mean, I don't want to say she's blingy on the inside. I think she's quite designery. Maybe that's the right word. But the outside, I was very keen to keep as much as the Land Rover look as I could, rather than putting sort of black shiny alloys on and really sort of spangling it up. I wanted it to look like the retro Defender as you imagine it. The only thing we couldn't get away with is the pop top, which does add a fair chunk of height on.
Yeah.
Which took a bit of getting used to for me, because it totally changed the look of the roof, but I'm kind of okay with it now.
Yeah, but I mean, you can make a piece of it because of what it does on the inside of the vehicle.
Yeah, it's an amazing pop top.
Did you guys add the paneling in?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really nice touch. Just the subtle things, like the strip lights down the side. It's not white. It's like a warm. Yeah, it's beautiful. Tell me about this paneling up here.
Yeah, so this is all hand done in the workshop. So we've got a CNC machine which engraves the patterns on, which we can bespokely do for each customer. This is a pattern that we just happen to really love and has been in a couple of our personal campers now. It just gives it a bit of a different look than just a flat wall.
100%.
A lot of people think that we put wallpaper on the walls, but no, it is all handmade out of wood.
Would you mind jumping in and then I'll
sure.
chat to you from in there? Can I join you?
Of course you can. Plenty of room.
The headroom in here is incredible.
Yeah. Normally, you can see where the Defender normally comes to. It's kind of here, isn't it?
Yes.
It's there.
So you can. Oh my gosh! Look at that.
Yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to not to kind of constantly crouch down, because you get used to not banging your head before it's built, and then suddenly it's like voila.
I'll tell you something. I know it might be a silly thing to mention, but it doesn't feel like I'm in a car right now.
No.
It feels like I'm in a really nice hotel room or something.
That is exactly what we try and do with all of the builds. Yeah.
Show me the sort of thought behind the functionality and how you sort of envisioned this to what you put in to make it usable and
sure.
And why.
So I suppose start down here. So we've got a handmade sink which was made a lot smaller, well not a lot, a little bit smaller than the usual sinks in the builds, because of the work we wanted to maintain this work surface space for cooking, because we do both love cooking, so that's important to us. The water is underslung, so we've got a winterised underslung tank in the void of the wheel arch of the Defenders. There's so much space wasted in the Defenders under there.
Wasted space, correct.
So we've plonked as much as possible in there. So we've got the water tank. The fridge uses up a bit of space in there.
Oh, you have a fridge unit?
Yes.
I wouldn't have been able to tell.
Just move the whiskey.
I don't mind if you move it closer, that's fine.
So yeah, the fridge is in there.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and it's a really good size fridge for this this size vehicle. I mean, we store stuff that doesn't even need to be in the fridge in there, to be honest, because it's such a good space.
Yeah. What fridge is that? Do you mind me asking?
No, they're a company called Vitra Frigo, and they're really good. They're based down in Portsmouth. Really
company.
good customer service.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually think they're Italian, but that's their UK base.
Got you.
Very good. So we've gone for an induction hob in here. So it's a single induction hob. The electrics in this camper is fairly large to support this, because I would never want to not be able to make a cup of tea or coffee.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a big inverter to power that. We've got a very big battery, lithium battery, which is sunk down into the wheel arch here underneath the sofa.
Right.
So again, that's using up that void space, and we've insulated that as well, because it's sat where it is, and we plan to go to cold countries in this vehicle. We want to go to Iceland and the Arctic eventually. We need to make sure that everything's safe under there. Yeah, so this has been very much thought out for us cooking inside, because we tend to go to cold places rather than Morocco or South Africa and places like that. Although I would like to go there one day. I needed to make sure that this was still functional inside. We do plan to do a lot of cooking outside where we can, but I think it would be a bit silly of us to rely on that where we would plan to go.
Yeah, your bias is more inside.
Yes.
And I can tell this is probably the widest countertop. It is just the leather. It's not me.
That's what they all say.
Yeah. But it's the most usable countertop I think I've ever seen in a Defender. There's proper work area for you to be able to prep things and make whiskies and.
Oh yes, the most important stuff.
Yes, especially if it's cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, kudos to you guys for that, because it's not actually killed any of this space over here. I'm just under 6 foot and I can sit here very comfortably. This is really nice.
The most comfortable seat is actually up here.
Oh,
so
yeah?
we tend to sit one here and one here.
Yeah.
That person gets their legs up and then this person puts their legs on them.
Like a chaise lounge.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
And it's really comfy because we've kind of angled the back. So you can just really lounge at night, and then we'll put a little iPad here if it's, if we're not sat outside.
This is bigger than the first lounge I had in my first flat, so it's What I like is that you've used simple things, and this is what I've noticed is a really good touch of design, is when you can use simple things like just a standard copper pipe, and you can make it look premium.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed your tap as well.
Yeah.
It's just a bent piece of copper, but it looks stunning. It really, really works.
We try to keep the plumbing as simple as possible. So when we go away, we've got the undersun tank there, obviously, and it's all winterised, but we will have a secondary means of getting water, because I don't think you should ever rely on something that's outside in one thing, because if you're going to seriously cold temperatures, you've got to be really careful, particularly with water. So all of this is made simple so that we can quickly maintain it and change things as we need it.
The storage, what goes in here?
Yeah, so in here we tend to put our small items of clothing like pants, bras and knickers.
Yep.
We are big fans of stuff sacks, so we'll use them up there. Basically stuff that this vehicle, we kind of use it as more of a backpacking setup, so everything's in miniature, including like the pans and things.
Compartmentalisation.
Yeah, it just makes using it really easy if you're really organised and everything's in its place. There's actually loads of storage in these drawers, so you can fit. It's not very well organised at the minute, but you can tell from the stuff we've got where it's very much about hiking and small things that we would take in backpacks. We've tried to use instant cooking, yeah. So there is quite a bit of storage in here. They're on quite strong magnets to stop them coming open when you're driving.
I've got a bit of a clumsy streak going on at the moment, so I didn't want to break anything.
There's also quite a bit of storage under the seats as well.
Let me jump out and.
So under here we've got storage that we use for things like your big jumpers and your trousers. Shoes could go in there. Yeah, I tend to put shoes in this little cupboard here, which is really big. It goes right to the back.
Oh, I see.
And we also house a little sort of fold-away toilet for emergencies in there as well. There is more storage, a little bit more through under here. So we put like emergency stuff under here. Stuff that you don't need all the time, basically, because it's a bit more faffy to get to, but it's there in case you need it. And then we've got roof boxes on the roof that we use for like hiking kit and things that perhaps haven't got room in here. Boots, hiking poles, rucksacks, things like that can all go up there.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this roof, is that you can make the most of the roof rack and storage solutions up there. Yeah,
storage is a big one, particularly like overlanding. If you're doing a longer trip, it's like the hierarchy of things that you need. It's like gets further and further into the vehicle. Like the most important stuff that's accessed every day is kind of closest to the door, and then as it goes back, your spares and a water pump and a aux belt or tools, whatever. It's like near the front or harder to get to.
Yeah, recovery gear and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I know a lot of people, they use sort of hold-alls for the main part of their clothes and things, and then they just put that in the cab overnight when they're not using it, which is another option.
To keep the the living space livable.
So far, when we've gone away, which has been mainly long weekends so far, we've just been absolutely fine using the upper cabinets that are under here, and then the crates on the roof. But when we go and do longer trips, so I think I said we plan to go to Iceland, we'll make more use of the space, and we'll probably end up with a hold all in the front, for bigger stuff.
Now, since I'm here, this is the closest thing to me, this is obviously your lighting control. There's some kind of battery monitoring system.
Yes.
That looks like a heating.
It is, yeah. So that's a diesel heater which is plumbed into the main fuel tank. And it gets really toasty warm. We've got a vent coming out in the kitchen, and we've also put in a vent that goes up into the roof. You can probably just about see the pipe there. So when we're in bed upstairs, we've still got heating, because this whole bed, both ends of the bed come down. So if you could be heating down here, but not necessarily feeling the heat in the bed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wanted to be toasty up there, particularly where we plan to go. This is a battery monitoring system, but it does the battery, it does water tank, gas if you had it, you could link up to it. Kind of the heart of the build, and it tells you what your vehicle is doing for utilities, essentially.
Right.
It's all a Victron system that we put in, so it's the best quality electric stuff. But yeah, this bit gets really handy. So it also tells you what's drawing power at any one point. So I can see there's 25 watts being drawn at the minute, which is the fridge and a little bit of lighting.
I like that you've put the light switches at the entrance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you need to, as soon as you get there, you need the light to get in, don't you?
Yeah, but you'd be surprised. I've seen light switches dotted all over the place, but yeah, that's really handy right there. Is this cupboard?
Yeah, just an extra storage cupboard.
Just a little cubby and access to the electrics, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
got you. How do you control your lighting on the outside?
That's
through there as well.
A light switch there. So that's if we're cooking at night, or we're wanting to sit out in the dark. We've got that option there. We've also got an outside USB there as well. Which basically is for fairy lights.
Right.
I mean, you could use it for anything that's USB charging, but I wanted it for fairy lights.
Yeah, well, what campsite isn't complete without fairy lights? You're going to show us the Elegance shadow horn as well.
This bit of kit, it is so good. Compared to the awnings that we put on the bigger builds, this is it's so robust in the wind and so easy to set up as well.
Oh, look at the size of the hinges.
Yeah. And that's it. It's so easy.
Amazing.
And I've never actually had to use the leg. It does come with a leg here, but it's so stable, even in...
that is the dream.
I know. And the fact that it comes all the way around as well. It's really important in this type of build that you've got this amount of cover, though, because you do need to use your outside space. Whilst we're out here, this was another thing that I love about this build.
Oh, the two-way access.
Yeah, so that, whoever's cooking can then pass stuff out to the person down here with the table and chairs.
Have you ever seen those fold-down tables?
Yes, it's coming soon.
It's coming. Okay, you got your eye on it. Yeah, nice.
So the plan on this side is to have a molle board. Mm-hmm. Then we'll have cargo tracks here and here, and we'll have one for spare fuel because I've run out of fuel 3 times so far already. Yeah.
Look, it happens to the best of us.
I think the fuel gauge might be faulty, so it's my fault. So extra fuel tank and then an extra jerry can for water.
That makes total sense, yeah.
Yeah. What I would like on the other side is another set of cargo tracks with a storage box on. So I think eventually what I'd like to do is put hiking boots and the stuff that we use all the time when we go away in there, so it's easy to get at.
The mucky, bulky stuff.
Basically, that you don't want inside.
Yes, exactly. I have had my eye on one of these wraparound awnings for a while now.
Amazing. They're pricey, but worth every penny.
Yes.
On one of these builds, totally. Okay.
And this is Explore glazing again, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, really good product.
Yeah, this stuff is really nice, and I like that you can see the live edge from the outside as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, I needed to be very careful when I was making this that it was still pretty from this side.
Yes.
Because usually you can't see the back of the splashback in the builds, but you can in here.
Yeah, you don't. There's no opportunity to hide anything.
No.
Which I need to do quite frequently on whatever I make. While I'm standing out here under the awning, my eye just caught this. I think it's so cool. This little downlighter. Love the little attention to detail, the little things that just make it work. Chat us through some of the mods that you've done on the outside.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure people would love to know.
So one of the first things we had done was we got the suspension upgraded to an OME setup from Gwyn Lewis, which is absolutely brilliant, and it just helps the vehicle cope with the added weight on the roof and obviously the conversion as well. I'll be honest, she actually drives better off-road than she does on-road.
How does that work?
I don't know, but off-road she feels like, I don't feel the bumps. Whereas I think maybe on road it's a bit different because you do get a bit of sway with the pop top, but I quite like it. I like being chucked around.
Yeah.
A bit weird like that. The wheels, I liked keeping them as wolf wheels. I like, as I said before, I like to keep the traditional look of the Defender. I put the rock sliders on. I don't know if we'll ever need them, but I'm glad they're there at certain points. I have done a couple of green lanes in the Lake District and it has been very tight, so it just gave me a bit more.
Bit of peace of mind.
Yeah. At the front, so we've added some spotlights at the top, and we've also got laser lamps down here which are phenomenal. We've wired them into the main beam, and they are like lighting up a football pitch at night compared to...
Yes.
Well, these are better light. We've had better lights put in because the normal Defender lights are just like, yeah,
Glowworms in
pathetic.
jam jars
Yeah.
is the... Yeah.
So we've had them, so they're better, but with those it's brilliant. And because she's our everyday vehicle, we commute to and from home in her, so it's important that we can see.
And also with generally like your preferred destination is the cold weather stuff, which
Yes.
is normally darker.
Exactly,
Yeah,
darker,
that makes total
snowy.
sense.
Yeah.
These are really nice. And I've also just noticed, I've been thinking about these Falcon Wild Peaks,
Ah, yes.
and I've never seen them in the flesh, and I think these might be my next tyre.
They're really good value for money, the Falcons, and to be honest, we've never had a problem with them at all, and can't really fault them, to be honest, for the value.
Yeah.
When you compare them to the price of kind of, you know, your
The BF.
BFs and everything.
Yeah, the BF Goodriches. And what else have we got
We've
going
got,
on?
so we put the A bar on. I pretty much put that on because I like the look of it, I've got to admit. It
Well,
kind of goes with the nice square look of the Defender.
And it's pedestrian friendly.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
That's why you put it on.
Apart from the winch would hit them first, but you know.
Exactly.
And the winch I have put on there genuinely for self-rescue. We do go out green laning on our own, so it's important that we can get ourselves out of trouble. Just hope that there's a tree. Snorkel we've put on, and then up on the roof you can see we've got the front runner roof boxes, which are brilliant for kit storing. We will be putting an extra one up there with recovery gear in shortly. We've got the solar panel, which I think is a 280 watt panel up there. Shovel for obvious reasons, max tracks again for recovery, and then the high lift jacks on the other side, which I hope never to have to use, but it's there just in case.
Yeah, a lot of people are already nervous about the high lifts.
Yeah, well,
They can seriously knock your teeth out in a flash if
Absolutely.
you don't use them properly. Yeah.
so I find them a bit scary, but it's there if the poo really hits the fan.
Yes.
Obviously your NAS step, which
Oh yes.
yeah,
The
I
good
put
old
that.
NAS step.
I put that on really it helps me get the roof up. It's just at the right height, and then the rear door carrier as well to take the weight off the rear door. Oh, we've got the Optimal, the updated Optimal hinges
Yes, I
as well.
noticed the sort of flashes of Optimal every now and again.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is really nice.
And it's got because they've got the security on there as well. It stops people just coming with a screwdriver.
Stealing
and
your
taking
car
the
with a
door
butter
off.
knife, yeah. Is this a particular brand of NAS step, or
Well,
it
we
looks
actually-
slightly different to what I've seen before?
We bought it from Twisted, who happened to be just up the road in Thirsk. I thought, well, their stuff's obviously going to be decent stuff. I don't know whether they do it in-house or whether they just get it from a particular brand
Got you.
that they know and trust. But yeah, that's where it came from.
It is a nice one.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't rust like most of them do.
So driver's side of the vehicle is pretty, I'd say pretty standard down this side. Well, not standard, but you've got plans for some
Yes.
extra things, but at the moment it's kind of a clean
Yeah.
blank slate. Yeah.
Yes. There are additions inside the drivers, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, do you want me to show you?
Let's check them out, yeah. I'm going to come around to the other side, I think.
Okay.
Before we head inside,
Yeah.
just forgot to mention, when we were talking about the Optimal stuff, I just remembered seeing these steps
Treads.
here.
Yeah, these treads are really good. So they're from Empire Tuning, and it means that I can just I kind of use the rock slider, then get my leg up there and get my leg there, and I can get stuff from the roof really easily, and I don't have to stand on the bonnet. And
It's a really ingenious bit of kit.
It really is.
I saw them on another build video we did with the off-grid camp guys,
Yeah.
Tom and Rosie, and they had them on, and I thought, that is a brilliant solution. Again, an otherwise pointless windscreen, mount that's just turned into something functional. So.
And they just take literally 2 minutes to fit as well.
Yes.
Even better.
Right, let's go inside. I mean, as Defender interiors go, the cabin where you drive, I mean, this is probably the nicest one I've ever seen. You said to me that you got these covered.
So these have been reupholstered by a local company to us, and we've had heated seat pads put in as well. And it's the same material as what's in the back, so you've got the kind of continuity coming from the back to the front. I made the cubby box to fit. And put the oak lid on again. I just wanted to bring a little bit of that oak into the cab. And one of the biggest things I needed in here,
yes.
was a decent entertainment system, because we do plan to do some really long drives and I love music. So we had this put in with the double din unit, and it links to your Spotify, which is just brilliant.
Like Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, exactly.
The Android equivalent.
Yeah, so you've got Google Maps on there and everything. We've had the removable steering wheel put on for security, which is dead easy to use. That's one of the easiest bits of security you can put on the Defenders. So important, because that's just so highly nickable.
Yes.
I get totally paranoid about this car, so yeah, that was really important. I think that was one of the first things we did.
My latest insurance premium is evidence that Defenders are being nicked quite a lot. It's crazily going up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah, and then you've got the mats to match the floor in the back, which we handmade as well.
Oh, stunning detail, hey? I like your branding, the little brass. That's really, 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 really cool. This was the vent that you were talking about earlier, right?
Yes.
That's the heating vent up into the top of the tent. And is this part of the alley cab?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so that shelf up there, again, it's a space on a Defender that is otherwise
absolutely
not used. So
a bit of extra storage as well.
yes, I'd like to kind of fabricate something like that for my Defender. I mean, obviously, I don't have the alley cab pop top, but I'm figuring I might be able to.
Yeah, there's so much you can do.
Might be able to squeeze something in there.
Yeah. We have got future plans to get a few bits retrimmed in here. So Lucari are going to be retrimming this section, the glove box lid, the handle, and a few bits on here as well. We may get this whole thing retrimmed at some point, but we're kind of doing it in stages to see. I don't want to make it look too much, so we'll do little bits and see how it looks.
Would you do the door cards the same as the seats? Yeah. Okay.
But I'm kind of tempted to just do a strip along the middle. I don't know yet.
Otherwise, it might be too much, right? Yeah. It might be a bit overpowering. Is there any? What's underneath here? There's some vents here.
That's the diesel heater.
Ah, so that's where you put your diesel heater. That's interesting.
You can mount them under slung, but it's just not a good idea to put a diesel heater under a Defender that's going to be going through river crossings and things, because you'll probably flood the heater.
100%.
So yeah, we decided to keep it inside on this one.
That's a good location, I think. Yeah. We're back at the back of the car because I was asking about this bed situation.
Yeah. One of the best things about this pop top for me is how they've done the bed. So you can keep your mattress and all your bedding up there, even when it's like this and when it's shut as well. So many of the pop tops in the transporter world and the bigger van world, you have to take all your bedding out and store it downstairs. Well, you don't want to be doing that in here.
Sure.
So yeah, it literally just pulls down like that. And then to get up, just do that and up.
Oh wow.
And you can either sleep with it with this back bit up, or you can bring it down and then you have the full length.
See you later. Wow. Yeah. But even with the alley cab pop top that you've done, it's called the Icarus, right?
Yes.
You've put your Brown Bird & Co stamp on it, which I really, really like. Just adding in the wooden slats that just tie everything together. I just love the way that you guys, your vision for these things. You've taken a Defender and you've added style to it, and then you've taken a modification to a Defender and you've added style to it as well. It's brilliant. Oh my gosh, this is dreams.
And I love that these completely unzip open as well, so when you wake up in the morning you get all your views.
And these are South African made
they are, tents,
Yeah,
very good quality.
Well, thank you for showing me upstairs. Have you got something underneath here?
Yes, so we've added some springs.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What are these?
So yeah, they just make this it's quite firm mattress, really quite springy and comfortable.
Do you feel these through the
No.
You don't?
No.
That's what an ingenious solution. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, Jacquie found those. I don't actually know where she got them from, but yeah, they're really good.
My wife and I, we also had a similar problem with, because only like 50 or 70 mils, right? We just put yoga mats underneath.
Oh yeah.
Just that extra bit of harder.
Yeah, no, it does the job.
That's brilliant. I can't wait to give my car an upstairs.
Is that the plan one day?
I hope so, yeah. All right, well, Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to go through Skafta and show us all the little details and the wonderful things that you guys have done. I have realised that I really need to up my game when I put a spanner and tools to the back of my car. You've given me a ton of inspiration to not only just functionally get the job done, but to make it look really, really nice as well. Like just the drop-down table, right? My approach was, I'll just get something off of Amazon, zip, zip, zip,
Yeah.
plop down. But if I had taken the time, because I like things with stories, and what you've done is you've put a little story in every corner.
Well, we did do that. I'll hold my hands up. We bought one off online that was ready to do, and I put it on, and I just thought, I don't like it. I can do something a bit quirkier.
But stepping over that line, I want to just commend you guys for doing that, for going, I could do this, but it would be way nicer if we did this and actually following through. So you guys have done a tremendous build. I really enjoyed it. I hope everyone that's watching has kind of realised that we all need to kind of step up a little bit. Yes, I hope you've learned something. I know I normally sign off these videos by taking an instant photograph, and like a moron, I have forgotten the instant camera back at Brown Bird & Co. HQ. So we're going to hop back in Skafta and we're going to drive back across the yard to where the camera is, and then we'll finish the video there. Back at Brown Bird & Co.'s workshop, and we're ready to do the instant film shot. Laura's just run inside to see if Jacquie is going to join us for the shot, if she wants to be part of it. If not, it's just going to be me, Laura and Skafta. It's a handsome truck, right? It's a really handsome truck, and I've got black and white film in here today, and that kind of complements the build because it's a black and white Defender, the color scheme that they've gone for. So I'm very excited to get the shot off and give them a little gift. Hopefully they'll enjoy it. So this is like my little way of saying thank you for letting me chew your ear off for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And yeah, I really appreciate it. It's a little keepsake, just an instant photograph. Hopefully it'll be fun for you guys. If you guys are happy to kind of just rest up against here, and
Yeah.
I'll do like maybe 2 or 3 shots. I'll do like a super wide one.
Yeah.
All right.
Hair everywhere.
Yeah, it's a bit blustery today. Ready? Let's get you on, I've done my broadside shot. Let's get you over here, so we do a 3/4 shot.
Yeah.
Tell you what, yeah, one of you sitting up would be nice.
That's it.
Do you want the lads?
What about having the team in?
You want to have the team in?
Yeah.
That would be brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Right, let's arrange you guys. There we go. Thanks guys, that's it. Thanks chaps. Yeah, let's have a quick look at these. I'm going to sign one for you, and then if you don't mind signing one for me.
Yeah. Aidan looks so happy to be in a picture.
Oh, he hates
Does he hate it?
Oh, he really does hate it.
Do you like the broadside or the full team one?
Ah, that one.
Yeah, that's cool,
They
isn't
can
it?
sign both.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The simplest explanation, I guess.
Nice handwriting.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's awful. What's the 14th today?
Yes. It's very arty. Thank you.
Here you go.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
normally have a frame. I'm normally much better prepared, but I ran out of time to get. I normally frame them and
Yeah.
give it as a proper
Oh, no,
present.
I like it like that. It's
Yeah,
raw.
it's nice.
It's the it's raw. It's turned out. That's so cool. Well, thank you very, very much. I really
thank you.
appreciate your time, and yeah, well done on the build. I love it. Well, there you go. That's it. That's it. Another Defender dream build, and my gosh, was it a dream build. every time I think about it, I'm like, wow, I've got to up my game. I mean, that build that these guys have done is incredible. And I think it's going to make me think a little bit more about the design element and the aesthetic of what I'm trying to achieve, instead of just making stuff functional. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. And if you enjoyed this series, please do consider subscribing and share it with a mate who maybe enjoys Defenders. And if you want to commission these guys, I'll tell you, you'll be in safe hands. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon.